Afternoon, evening, Colin. You're right.
Good evening. Oh, I like the t-shirt.
Do you? I wonder
Yeah.
why.
Got the t-shirt.
I need to stretch. Oh, look.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. Merch, Cole. We've got. We'll come on.
We have merch.
We've got merch.
More merch.
More merch. Merch has been requested, and more to come. And more to come.
Indeed.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Good evening.
How's your week been?
Bloody awful. How's yours?
Started rubbish with the football. We're going to talk.
No, I'm not too bad. Once again, I've drugged myself up to the eyeballs to appear.
Yeah, same.
But at least I'm here. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? At least I'm here because, as you can see, there's a bit of a vacancy.
There is a vacancy in the
a void.
In the void that is our streaming service, as one of our former co-hosts has decided that he can't commit every week. But that doesn't matter, Cole. It doesn't matter. The main stays here.
Well, yeah, that's it. Yeah, main course.
Absolutely. Anyway.
Yeah.
Been a tough week, I think, to be honest. We'll get on to some good evenings in a minute because we've got quite a few to get through. But, yeah, I mean, Saturday...
Is that it? You're just not going to say good evening and welcome to show 46?
Well, I'm going to go on to that, but I'm just going to say it's been difficult. So forgive me if Colin and I are a little bit downbeat, but that always makes good content.
Ranting.
You know? Exactly. It's always good content. If we had a bad week, you'll get lots of gripes. Gripes. But no, look,
we think we've got it bad. The Shrewsbury guest won't come on tonight because he's too busy crying.
Exactly. He's had a rough one.
Hopefully he's crying at 10 to 5, I'll tell you.
Well, fingers crossed. But anyway,
yeah.
Show number
46.
So 4 away from the big 5-0 call. Happy
Yeah.
Again. But lots to get through tonight, as I say. So I think we can unpack it. It's probably the nicest way to say it, Cole. Unpack it. Not deliver it, unpack it. But we've got merchandise to talk about. That is positive. So, I mean, I can start with that in a minute. We've got, obviously, the Payne player review rate of Accrington. So everything Chris Kamara can do, Luke Payne can do better. We've got injury updates. We're going to talk a bit more about that tonight. We've got recent results. Again, probably quite a talking point for a lot of us at the moment. The atmosphere at the stadium. That's been a talking point around some of the forums of late. So we'll talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the management, if you like, the ownership, and where's the line in the sand for them if things continue the way.
Well, I think that, I know people don't want to talk about it, but
raised.
Fahad's an unknown, so,
exactly.
We'll deal with that later.
Exactly. That's not us. That's just a talking point. And again, I'll let Colin I'll let Colin describe this one about, are you a happy clapper or a bedwetter, Colin?
Yeah, how do you feel about the situation, I mean, are you doing your pieces like me and Aidan, or are you sitting there going, yeah, well played, lad, you lost again, but well played. So let us know what side of the fence you sit on.
Exactly. And we also do need, I mean, I did volunteer last season to drive to Carlisle. But I don't think it's fair for me to do that 2 seasons in a row. So we're going to ask for volunteers who'd like to take Lecco and Hogan anywhere they want to go. Anywhere in the world.
That's right.
Away from stage.
Yeah. Anywhere they want to go because, well, they're undescribable.
Well, we'll come on to it, Cole, no doubt.
Yeah.
But we will also preview Shrewsbury, hoping for the luck to change. We've got a few stats and bits we're going to talk about. We did have a guest, as Colin mentioned, it was due to come on. He's decided not to come on.
Well, their situation's worse than ours.
I think that's part of the problem because I think they knew that it was going to be an awkward night for them as well. But then again, that said, he was a Kilmarnock fan as well, so I'm not quite sure.
Just to let you know, he's a Shrewsbury fan living in exile in Scotland who has now become a Kilmarnock season ticket holder. So we'd call that he's a 2-club wanker.
Yeah, I mean, I can talk about that, as you can see behind me. But
I support our growth, but,
Absolutely. Well, we've got stats and things to go through. So we'll still go through some updates. We'll go through. We most importantly want your feedback as we go through as well.
Yeah, that's right. Bring up anything you like tonight,
Absolutely.
We need to talk about Aidan's OnlyFans account.
Well, exactly right. If only I had an account that could make money, Cole. There we go. But Yeah, let's do some good evenings before we kick on.
Go on then.
I say we've got first one is always from the legend that is it's Ashley. Thank you every week without fail. Top of the rock pops, mate.
Evening legends and Colin. Yeah, this is
Big
getting too regular now.
You're breaking him, Matt. Anyway, Matt says, "Evening, lads. Turns out me forgetting my Don's Unplugged cap is not the cause for the defeats.
Yeah.
Remembered it for Aquitaine, and look what happened. To be fair, Matt, if you did have it, I'd have probably pulled it over your eyes. It would have saved you the pain."
Yeah.
Like I say, we'll come on to that in a bit more and get your input as well as obviously ours tonight. Matt's also said, "I've decided it may be pink shirt bringing us bad luck. War for both Grimsby and Accrington." And they were our worst performance under Warren so far. So
far, at some stage, Matt is going to stumble across the ideal, match day wear, isn't he?
He is. And when he does, we'll photograph it and we'll stick it on the show. But no, Matt, let us know what you're gonna wear for your colours. If you're going to Shrewsbury, let us know what you're going to be wearing for that one.
Yeah, tell us.
It'd be good to know.
I'm interested.
Absolutely.
MK Don's Noah. With a pink shirt.
Thanks for joining, Noah. It said evening's got the pink shirt there, Matt. You can see it in the logo. Good shirt, to be fair, but I think I could see Matt's point. He's trying to find the lucky charm. But evening, Noah. Thanks for joining. We have got Glenn. He said, "Evening, lads. Evening, Glenn. Thanks for jumping on." Harry's with us as well. He said, "Evening, Harry. Thanks for joining. Hope you're well, mate." Russell would be without question having Russell on one forum, which means when I go to Facebook, Sheila will probably be on there.
Well, that's dedication. They're in Cornwall and they're watching.
Fair play. No, fair play. I mean, obviously Cornwall's pretty boring tonight if Ross Sheila are watching us, but we are grateful. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for watching.
MK Dons and Don's Unplugged royalty. Let's not forget.
Indeed.
We've got Grant. Grant says, "Evening, all."
Evening, Grant.
We've got Grant's son who's joined us as well. He said, "Evening." So, evening to you both.
I'm your friend. I don't know what that's all about.
And we have got someone we met at Stadium MK who was really lovely, by the way, who also says, "Good evening, Karen." And thank you, Karen. Bag some joy, quite literally. Good evening, Karen. Again, lovely for you to come and say.
Yeah, it was lovely to meet you. There were 2 or 3 people came up to me on Saturday.
There were.
And said how much they enjoyed the show. It was great. We always like to see a bit of feedback.
Absolutely. But no, Karen, lovely to meet you. And again,
we don't know what this show's like, do we? We've never watched it, have we?
Well, we have watched it back occasionally with a few chuckles, but that's it. We live it, we breathe it.
We never met Karen's daughter, did we?
No, apparently she watches the show, but she said, "Oh, Mum, you're embarrassing," or words to that effect. So, Karen, next home game, if your daughter and you do want to come and say hello, let us know. And
it was lovely to meet Karen. Lovely to meet Karen. And don't worry, Karen, I've got a full supply of food. I've got drinks.
There we go. Yeah,
two bottles tonight.
Going healthy with the natural.
Karen likes to think I'm looking after myself with food and drink. So I'm just letting you know, Karen, I'm all right tonight.
He's all right tonight. There we go. We've got Colin's out for 8 weeks, Harry. Yeah,
I'm not. I'm here.
Yeah, if only, right? It'd be a lot quieter on the show. I'm joking, obviously. But we'll come in on to the injuries. So thanks, Harry. Craig said good evening as well. A few more to get through, and obviously we will get on with it. But yeah, we've got on the that way. There we go, that way. Facebook as well. So we've got Colin Gibbs. Evening, Colin. Sheila is obviously watching us on the Facebook.
Sheila!
Evening, Sheila. Thanks for joining from Cornwall. Love Cornwall. So my mother and father-in-law are down in Liscard. So usually down there with the family most of the time. But yeah, great place. So I hope you're enjoying it. I hope the weather holds out for you as well. David's joined us. He said it's been a bad week. Haynes has joined us. Said evening, Jack. Tim's joined us as well. Evening, Tim. Thanks for joining. David's with us. And Arthur says, "Hi, lads, bombs away."
Group captain.
Mr. Harris, group captain. Yeah, absolutely. So that's the hellos done, and I can draw breath. There's a few things that we've got comments on as well, Cole. But I think before we go into that Accrington.
Hang on. I've got a quiz question.
Go on. Do you want to do it now?
Yeah, well, I'll do it so people can have a go throughout the night. I'm sure Ashley Clements is sitting there now, ready with his Google, right?
And you wonder why he says good evening, legends and Colin. I'm saying
yeah.
Go on.
Right, first person to comment the answers to this question, right?
Go on.
And we'll give you a Don's Unplugged baseball cap. When was the last time we won 2 games back to back? How many days? Go.
When was the last time? To the dates, the games, or the what?
No. How many days has it been since the last time we won 2 games back to back?
Okay.
How many days? Have a guess. Go on. Go.
Okay. Fantastic. We'll leave it there. I'll let you know what comes in. Okay. So, I mean, before we go on to the Accrington thing, like you said, we have got more merch. So it would be only right for me, Cole, to show you, because you'll have one of these on the weekend. But this is our new T-shirts. So, look at that.
Wow.
And on the back,
good
evening and warm welcome to our main match sponsor, Mr. Kaz.
Oh, the Kaz bar.
Yeah, so there you go.
Lovely.
But so Kaz will be getting a few of those.
I'm wearing that on Saturday, am I? I'm going to the game with you.
Yeah, we'll both be wearing it.
Right.
Yeah, just in case anyone wants to see us take the mickey, we're there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to be giving some of those away. So we've got a batch load of T-shirts coming in. So we'll be giving some of those away throughout the season. And people, like you're doing with the Caps, Cole, can buy them if they want to as well.
Yeah, if you want to buy one, we'll let you know how much they are when they come out.
Yeah, but they're not going to be that dear. They're not going to be that dear. I have a good arrangement with a very good merchandise person who I won't say the name of the company because it would be unwise to, because I don't want to give it away. But they actually make football shirts.
What, they doing it on the quiet, are they?
Indeed. They actually make a number of the football shirts across the EFL as well.
Oh, right, okay.
So, yeah, really interesting, actually. I went to see their factory and saw what they
I look forward to wearing it.
There you go. Yeah, so quality, Cole. Quality, and cheap price as well for Don's Unplugged. So there we go. Anyway, before we get too far into everything else, Accrington, I mean, we'll dissect it, Cole. We'll dissect it. I'll probably get into a rant, so I'll let you go first. What was your thoughts on the game? Dare I ask? Thoughts?
I don't know, actually. I'm trying to stop myself from swearing. I'm trying to stop myself. As people know, I do like to drop the old expletive in my conversation. I've got no filter, apparently. It was tragic, mate. Absolutely bloody tragic. The thing that got me was the simplicity of the goals. Because they passed the ball inside, our defenders went with the players, and left some guy exposed. It was laughable.
Yeah.
I just wonder where the bloody hell. I can't believe what's going on. I had to leave on about 85. I couldn't take it no longer, mate. I said to Darren when I walked out, I shall probably miss the biggest comeback in the history of this football club, but I doubt it very much. And I was probably just the other side of MK Hospital, when the final whistle went. And from what I heard in the last 5 or 10 minutes, mate, we offered nothing.
Not really.
Pitiful.
It was.
And another, while we're talking about it, right?
Evening, Kerry Ann, by the way. Thanks for joining.
Hi, Kerry Ann. I wouldn't be surprised if on Sunday morning Crowley and Kelly woke up and went, "Oh my bloody neck," because the ball just missed them. We've got one of the most skillful midfields in League Two, and all we kept doing was booting it over the top of people, booting it over the top. And Kelly and Crowley must have been like this.
Yeah,
ridiculous. You play to your strengths. And we just kept kicking it down to Patterson, who was getting quite well isolated. It was just a laugh. You're grounded.
He's grounded for saying his dad's bad luck. Sorry.
Thanks, Karen.
Yeah, thanks, Karen. Really appreciate it.
You'd obviously heard.
Indeed. But no, I mean, for me, Cole, look.
You carry on. I'm going to look in my bag.
You go and look in your pastry. Do you know what? By the way, I did bring my own pastries today, Cole. There you go. There's mine. Custard tart. What can you do? Typical, quintessential British.
Who don't love a tart, eh?
Exactly, right. Pie in the face. It's a good acronym, a good analogy for what happened. I'll be honest with you. I was angry, Cole, on the weekend. I mean, for me, that is a game. And again, I hate when I hear these things said, because I had a lot of people saying it on the forums of like, well, it's Accrington. So, we're going to get through. I'll say it every week until people get the message. There is no team in this league we have a God-given right to beat. Doesn't matter the size of them. Doesn't matter how good or bad they are.
How many times have you got to say it?
I know. The point is, this league will punish you. Will punish you if you think you're going to turn up and win games based on how big you think you are versus the team that you're playing. I'm sorry. I am sick of hearing people go, "Oh, we should win this." You need to turn up for a game. And the difference between the two teams on Saturday for me is Accrington wanted it more. Were hungry for it. And quite frankly, enjoy the sausage roll. And quite frankly, for me, Cole, every team that's coming to Stadium MK this season, and they're going to see it as a cup final of sorts because we are the team to shoot down. So they're going to raise their game. It's going to happen. So why our team, for some reason, seem to have gone AWOL in terms of that thought, just thinking because we're a good team on paper that we're going to win a game? It hasn't worked. Hasn't worked for weeks. So I'm sorry. Look, you look at the whole situation. The start of the game was soft. Kelly, for me, didn't track his man for the first goal, just shut off. Going back to your midfield problem. I thought he was at fault for that. You could argue Ekpiteta was at fault. I won't. I don't think he was because it was one-on-one. I think, you've got Lemonhead Evans and others that could have helped him out, to be honest, on that one. So again, it's not just down to him.
Could have been worse as well, couldn't it? They hit the post.
Yeah, they hit the post.
But our goal should have been disallowed.
Should have been. But, for me, I think that was the first point of it. It's just like we go a goal behind and a really soft goal, Cole. That's the thing. But it
was schoolboy defending. Schoolboy.
That's unfair to school kids, to be quite frank, mate.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? To be fair, it's the mentality, and I've said this to you before: is if you're going a goal behind, or you're in a bit of difficulty, it's not working out. It's about the way you apply yourself to a game. We didn't do it. We just didn't do it.
Not for the first time.
No, and for me, I felt like it was a bunch of strangers on the pitch. Something we saw under Lindsay last season. It felt a little bit like, what are we all doing? What's the plan here? The goal that we did get in the second half, lucky as you say. I mean, Patterson pushed the defender into him to drop the ball. We were lucky to get away with it, but he didn't capitalise on it. We didn't go like, oh, now we're back in the game. Let's go. No,
I said to Darren, by the way, if you want, I keep talking about this guy Darren, but he stands next to me at the football.
He does.
Discuss it as we're going along.
Yeah.
But I said to him, right, hopefully we're going to get into. But instead of us, good, Harry, thank you.
Good stuff.
Instead of us pressing them, they pressed us even harder.
Yeah. They did. And the thing for me,
you're not the only one, Russell. We should.
Thanks for the comedy. Appreciate it. Evening, Luca, as well. Lucas joined us. I mean, Cole, for me, it was a number of factors, right? I think the midfield for me is not physical enough, particularly against the likes of Accrington, and Shrewsbury are going to be equally.
We're too lightweight.
Yeah. I feel like I just feel like the tactics are, for whatever reason, just not working out. And I'm not having a go at Warren because he's still finding his feet a little bit with this team. It's still early days, but you need to start seeing results. You do.
Be better than this, mate. Be better than this.
We should be. But I don't feel it's Warren. I feel the team have let him down because there was no desire on that pitch on Saturday. Yeah. None at all. I
did have to laugh. 3 occasions now, he said that's the worst I've ever seen us play.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gone 1 and said that's the worst we've ever played. Then 2, that's the worst ever. And then again on Saturday, he did it again. I mean, God knows what's going to happen this week.
Well, yeah,
exactly. I bet you would, Karen. Yeah.
Yeah. They're on their way, Karen. They're on their way. Don't worry about that. We'll make sure we get something sorted out for you. But, honestly,
we'll get you one, Karen.
It wasn't just that for me. I mean, it's like it's frustrating enough when you go in a goal behind. But if you were given effort, I can kind of take it a bit more. But we weren't. Yeah. And Accrington just schooled us in desire.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And in physicality. I thought Heath for their second goal. I mean, Lemonhead Evans had it, and it was we lost the possession.
I have to say, Nemain played well.
He did. He was a shining light in what was quite a bad day. But for me, Cole, I mean, good God, it was just going back to the days of Lindsay for me. Yeah. It's like, the mentality reset.
It feels like a reoccurring bloody nightmare, doesn't it?
It does.
I mean, I remember we sat here at the start of the season and we were all very buoyant and we'd spent a lot of money and we bought some. No, longer than that. No, longer than that. A lot longer.
I'm saying nothing.
Well,
I'll let you intervene. He's checking.
getting closer.
Getting closer. There we go.
Don't put 275 because that's not it either.
No, exactly. But no,
we all felt quite buoyant, and it just feels like
100%.
like last season. Yeah.
I mean, no, Kyle, it's as I say, the exception of the main. I think he did all right, but it wasn't just that. It's the concern for me isn't just the performance at the moment.
The main, in my opinion, is someone who's a bit of a fringe player, or was probably.
And he's taken his opportunity.
He's taken his opportunity, and there's various players. I mean, we'll very close, but there's one player in that team that we'll talk about him later, but Lecco. My God, that bloke is appalling.
Yeah.
He's a shadow of the player. I don't know whether he's nervous about the injury, but I'm sorry, John Lecco. If you want to be what you said you wanted to be in an interview from a few weeks ago, you've got to start putting your bloody body on the line, mate. I'm sorry, you've got to. We can't carry you.
No.
This isn't a bloody care home for former footballers, You're getting paid a decent wage.
Yeah.
And I'll be quite honest, if you can't cut the mustard, bugger off. Yeah. I don't want you in my club.
No,
I don't, and that same goes for Lecco as well. He's a bloody disgrace. Zero bloody effort. The way he performed with the fans last season when he walked over to the crowd, the man's an arrogant tosspot, and get him out of the club.
No, I'm with you.
If I was a manager, I'd deregister them both.
Yeah,
I mean, off. I don't want you.
For me, then going back to your point with Nemain, it's like Nemain is an example, and I've said it a few weeks in a row, of a player when there is an opportunity to step in and step up, you grab
it both hands.
Look what he's done. And to be fair, look at what he was at last season. The levels he was there to what he's now have really gone forward.
Mate, the way he played in that first 10 minutes, I said, bloody hell, what's up with Nemain? He's running through the bloody... Brilliant.
Well, that's the thing.
Unfortunately, he was let down by a load of tosspots.
Well, the dressing room, take a look at that attitude. And that's going back to my point, Connor. Attitude and application. We're not seeing it enough with this. And for me, silly mistakes are creeping in. So, like for the second goal for Accrington, Ekpiteta just dropped into the penalty area. He stood off his man. Yeah. You take a yellow. You try and Offord wasn't coming in.
It was so easy. It was laughable.
And it is. I mean, part of it, I'm not going to point the finger at Ekpiteta necessarily or Offord. I mean, the defence is interchangeable like Lego at the moment because of the amount of injuries and suspensions.
Lego?
Yeah, well, exactly. But do you know what I mean? It's like you've got Offord now with 2 yellows, so he's out. So there's no settled back line because of injury.
I mean, lucky Maguire's back in, so you can imagine it's going to be Maguire and Ekpiteta. I mean, how that's going to work. I mean, Maguire, I don't think really is match fit.
No,
I don't think so. So that's going to be interesting. I don't know whether Thompson's back or not, because after his sort of did he play or did he just appear on the bench and wasn't brought on? But he seems
as far as I'm aware, he's not injured. But again, I think he's still coming back like Maguire.
I have heard a rumour that the Sanders injury, or the Sanders, or the Colonel, whatever you want to call him, is not as bad as was initially thought.
No, but still quite.
But still, I mean, it's going to be still a few weeks, but it's not as bad as I think Warren commented a few weeks ago. Yeah, so
it was going to be, but no. Well, I said we'll put on Luke's review in a minute, Cole. But
I hope so. I can eat my sausage roll.
But I just
how long is it? So I know how long I've got.
You've got 5 minutes, Cole. You got 5 minutes.
Okay.
But for me, I think that midfield needs sorting out. I think we need some physicality in there. And again,
we need to play through the midfield for a start.
We do. But, I mean, I'm going to bring Craig's point back up, and thanks, Craig. He said the decision not to buy an experienced midfield enforcer in the summer is criminal. I could not agree more. We need the likes of, and I'm not saying that from their ability, but a Boateng, a Kasumi, someone physical in that midfield, and we're missing it really badly this season.
That last line, I think, I'm beginning to come around and agreeing with what you're saying there, Craig. I don't think Kelly and Crowley are the perfect side by side.
No.
There's just not enough strength.
There isn't, and that's the thing. You've got one or the other. You can't have both, and it's that. I mean, it's it's the old Gerrard Lampard argument for England, wasn't it? Back in the day, you couldn't play them both together. It's similar for us. You need a physical enforcer in there because of the league we're in. We're not in a league where you've got the luxury of skills. Enjoy your sausage roll. So no, I thought it was unforgivable, Cole. And you look at the Chesterfield game.
It's a bit dark in here, isn't it?
It has, isn't it? The Chesterfield game the week before. Okay, their midfield isn't as physical. But, again, it just didn't feel like we've got any punch or any weight there.
No.
And my worries with Shrewsbury is like, if we can't get a result there of any sort, where does it end? And it starts to...
Well, indeed. Yeah. Well, indeed, because as we know, losing is... winning's infectious and so is losing. You know what happened last year. When we started losing, you actually couldn't see any way... You knew when the other team scored one goal, that was the end of us. That was the end of us. We were done.
One thing I'm going to mention
about that could easily creep into us. I mean, I don't know how he's going to change it.
No, but I mean,
I'd start threatening him. I would.
Yeah, well, you look at the weekend, and probably not just the weekend. And I don't know if anyone else watching has noticed this. Where were the crosses, Cole? There were no crosses coming in. Set pieces, but no crosses. And if they were, they're few and far between. That is unforgivable for me. And again, Mendes Lang for me is as a player since he's joined us. Where is the real Mendes Lang? Because I'm just seeing a bang average player with no desire at the moment.
What is it with us that we buy decent players and turn them into rubbish? I don't get it.
I don't know. I mean, again,
anyway, are you going to play the Luke Payne review?
I will do, and then we'll circle back.
Desperate for my sausage roll.
I noticed. So we'll do the video, and then we'll come on to some comments we've got on the Facebook page as well. So,
roll VT.
Roll VT.
Right, we've got another game to cover, and this time it's the defeat to Accrington Stanley, who were they. Well, for 15 minutes we were quite good. We started the game positively. There are 3 or 4 sort of nearly moments where if Patterson's first touch is slightly better, then maybe we get ourselves an early goal or at least a shot on target. But ultimately that didn't happen, and our intensity dropped after that, and Accrington capitalised immediately. It was a very preventable first goal. All Liam Kelly had to do was just track his man, and that entire move just doesn't happen. Equally, someone like Lemonheigh Evans could have stepped across to close the gap, but I know there's some people blaming Akpatesa for that one, but for me he was left in a 1-on-2. Yes, he's positioned himself poorly, but it wasn't a favourable situation for him regardless, and I think we could have done a lot more to protect him. And I think that goal pretty much summarises the game, to be honest. It was just getting the basics wrong and not putting in the effort where it was required. But, we did regroup at half-time. We grabbed ourselves a goal, a very lucky one, to be honest. It was a blatant foul from Patterson to push the defender into the goalkeeper. That is the only reason he's dropped the ball. But, you have to ride your luck sometimes, and, we take it. But what's disappointing is we didn't then use that to give us more momentum to go and get the second. We kind of just let Accrington straight back into the game, and we got caught on kind of a counter-attack. Lemonheigh Evans was up the pitch, we lost the ball. Collar doesn't quite drop in quickly enough, and Ekpatesa's left in a 1-on-1 against Isaac Heath. And this one I will blame Ekpatesa for, because he made the mistake of dropping off into the box to stop Isaac Heath, who was, to be fair to him, very skillful, very, very quick. But to stop him, you have to stand your ground. And if he doesn't drop into the box, even if he gets past you, you can take him out and, just take the yellow card. By dropping into the box, he immediately loses that battle, and the goal's almost an inevitability at that point. Although I still feel like Luke Offord could have been less flat-footed and cleared it, but it should have been stopped before it reached that point regardless. But yeah, it was just a poor performance across the board. After that second one, Dons didn't really have anything going forward. We had one chance through Scott Hogan that kind of left a lot to be desired, to be honest. It was too easy to save. But yeah, I think it was just a case of we came up against a team that wanted it more than us, and that's the concerning thing. You can accept a defeat where the effort is there, and it's just not quite enough on the day, like the Walsall defeat. But this, by comparison, was a case of the effort wasn't there, the communication wasn't there. You shouldn't have players jumping into each other to win the same header, and two players leaving the same ball, expecting the other one to go and get it, and inevitably they don't, and the opposition take it instead. So, the absolute basics were wrong. Even the basic principles of a Paul Warne performance. We weren't getting crosses into the box. I think Mendes Lang managed 4, none of which found the target. But beyond that, there weren't any other crosses aside from set pieces. So it wasn't a familiar performance, and the team looked like strangers. So there's a lot of work to be done on that. I think we need to fix the balance of the midfield, or at least cater to the opposition more. It doesn't take a genius to work out that Accrington's midfield is more physical than Chesterfield, so having 2 shorter, less physical players in a midfield against Accrington isn't a good idea. But hopefully that's something we can correct against Shrewsbury. I'd expect them to be relatively physical as well. So hopefully a Will Collar or a Kane Thompson-Somers comes into the side. Unfortunately, we're going to be depleted on defenders again with the Offord sending off. It's going to be a very strange looking lineup. But we'll just have to see what we can do, because we do need a result relatively soon. We're only 3 points off 5th, I believe it is. But the result does have to come soon just to get us back on that winning trend. Go on, you Dons.
He's good, isn't he?
I like Luke. I will say what he said was valid, Cole, about Collar. I mean, Collar's another one, week in, week out, just not producing the goods.
No.
And again, I think that I want to come on to some of the comments we've got on the Facebook page, because there's some valid bits here as well from what we've
Nobody's
seen.
complained about me swearing, have they?
No one ever does, mate. If we do, it is what it is, right? But yeah, Ryan. So Ryan's watching from work. Evening, Ryan. He just said, "I'm at work. I'm fed up seeing away teams celebrating wins at our ground. I'll be there on Saturday. I'm going back to work now. Have a good show, guys." So thanks, Ryan, for jumping on. But yeah, like I said, this is their cup final, right? And we need to rise to the challenge of knowing the basics of take nothing for granted in this league. Apply application of mentality and effort. You've got the ability. That's what we've brought you in for. There's no doubt about that. But you need to start showing the goods. You need to.
Yeah, I mean,
in this league.
Anybody going up to Shrewsbury, and me and Aidan are going up there, and we hopefully, we encourage, as always, everybody to get to an away game, as many as you can. But I don't want anybody going up there thinking, "Oh, it's only bloody Shrewsbury. They're 23rd in the league. This should be a piece of piss." But unfortunately, Shrewsbury being at the bottom of the league are fighting.
Yeah, and I know what it means to fight, Cole.
And they know what it means to fight, And yeah, you're right. And if we don't match that level of fight, we're going to get beat again.
Yeah, we are.
And you think this week's bad? Next week will be even bloody worse.
It doesn't, and the games don't get any easier. Next home game is Stadium MK, Gillingham.
Yeah.
So look where they're at the moment. But
yeah.
I mean, another comment, and Tim, evening again, Tim. It's a really good comment, and it's a point. He said, for the second season running, we've signed a load of mercenaries, happy to pick up their money and not give 100%. It's hard to argue against that at the moment, Tim. I mean, I don't think all of them are, granted, but I mean, Hogan's a prime example for me of someone who was a championship player who seems to think he's really good. So does Lecco, not producing the goods, and they're quite happy to sit on the bench, not take their opportunity when they get their opportunity. They should be
keep taking the money, keep taking the wage.
Yeah, exactly.
Get rid of them.
You know my thing. I've been saying that for months, Cole. Colin just said as well, Colin Gibbs, he said, "What's our record like at Shrewsbury?" Not great from memory, off the top of my head.
Hang on.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
All right, okay. We'll talk about it in a minute then.
Talk about it in a minute. We'll come on to Shrewsbury. But hold that thought, Colin. Both of you. There we go. Yeah. Paul raised a valid point as well, just to make everyone know. And again, thanks, Paul, for that. He said, can you let everyone know the M6 is closed on Saturday between junction 4 and 4A both ways due to work on the bridge for the HS2. So
Really?
just to be careful. Obviously, SatNav should redirect everyone the way they need to go. But if you are going to the game,
set off a bit earlier.
Yeah, exactly that. Martin's joined us. Evening, Martin. He said, "Yes, I'm going."
Me and you could go M40, couldn't we? And up the M5.
Already planned it, Cole. Already planned it.
Amazing.
It's just like I've gone on the SatNav and accounted for this issue already. But yeah, we'll be there. It's a couple of hours for us, Cole. It's not too bad. Martin said, yeah, he's going up, but he said this is going to be a hard one. I couldn't disagree. Couldn't agree more, Martin, on that. This is one of those games that we need to show our mettle. Look, we've done the tweaks, we've done the changes. I've heard the excuses, and Paul Warren, I love you to death. You're a great guy, but I need to see the goods this week. Even if it's a 1-1 draw, or it's a horrible result, or whatever. I just need.
I'm aware of it thin, isn't it?
Yeah, I need to see effort. Result to results. But if you put the effort in and apply yourself, results come. That's just part and parcel of the game. You've got to get back to the basics. I hate using that cliche, but we need to. We need to just start getting back to how do you win a game? Win it dirty, win it nasty. I don't care how. Just get the 3 points.
Anyway,
otherwise, this is going to be a really long season. We're not even halfway into it. A few more comments as well. So we got one from Matt. Matt just said we started well against Accrington, but we conceded, our heads dropped, and we panicked. It's the same every week, Matt. And I don't get it. You've got the quality there. Look at the Newport game away. Look at the Cheltenham game. It proves it can be done. They should know their ability. They should know, and they should be looking at each other, knowing the drill, who's doing what.
Well, apparently after Saturday, so I can't remember doing the interview. Was it Mendes Lang?
Yeah,
said that a few people in the dressing room after the game expressed a few home truths about each other. So
there you go, Colin. There's another one. Sorry to interrupt your thought.
Miles out.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, I don't like that sort of stuff. I mean, sitting there going, well, home truths. It shouldn't be about pointing the fingers and home truths. If that's the attitude in the dressing room, guys, if you're watching, any of you, you've already lost it. It's about togetherness. There's a sign that us, Colin and myself and Darren put together many years ago on a DSA that says together as one. Yeah? There's one that says that tough times never last as well. That used to be the Carl Robinson way of things. If you're starting to pop at each other and you're not even a tenth or even a quarter of a way into the season, what are you playing at? Put yourselves together.
Where are we heading? If they're fractured at this stage of the season, where are we heading?
Take a look in the mirror and give yourselves a damn good shaking down, because if that's the attitude of starting to blame each other, that tells me everything that's been wrong so far this season. You need to be pulling together, encouraging each other, dissecting where we've gone wrong, and being pragmatic about it, looking at ways as a team together to sort it out. If you're pointing fingers, I suggest whoever's pointed fingers, Mr. Mendes Lang, doesn't play this Saturday, because you're clearly not in it for the team, just yourselves.
You're right.
It's graceful. No, I'm not. I'm not. I think it's disgusting when people do that.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be blaming each other. It's a team game, guys.
Apparently they are.
It's a team game. It's about 11 people for 90 minutes. And if you want to start pointing fingers...
You know what the next thing will be, don't you? Somebody will be saying, Warren's lost the dressing room. Well, I know where it is.
Well, exactly. But no, I'm just saying, Cole, at the end of the day, you're there as a team. If you're starting to play as individuals and blaming each other, maybe look at your own performance before you start pointing fingers at each other.
Yeah. I hope Hogan at the centre of it.
Yeah, pull yourselves together.
He's got no room to talk.
No. Pull yourselves together. Anyway.
And if Hogan scores on Saturday, I don't want anybody coming on here next week saying to me, well, you're wrong about Hogan. No, I'm not. He's a top spot.
He just got lucky. That's it. Oh, dear. Yeah, we'll come on to the injuries in a second. Definitely on that piece. But, yeah, I mean, look, as it says there, for when you finish justifiably ranting, thank you, Matt, there was a very loud booze at the end of the game. Do you think that was just... I mean, look, I've always been of the mind...
In my opinion, has always been, you pay your money, you're allowed to express yourself. Whether that's great because you've won, or if you want to boo, I'm sorry. We've all spent a lot of money and we've invested a lot of time and effort to support this club.
Yeah.
And it's bloody disappointing when you go out there and watch it, 11 people, and it appears that the vast majority of them don't give a toss.
No,
that's what it looks like.
I think, Matt, to be to your point,
I'm not seeing players dying for the squad.
No,
Do
look,
you?
For me, I think Colin's point is valid, but again, it's not necessarily about booing the players because we've had a bad result. It's booing players probably because of the effort, the lack of effort, or the perceived lack of effort. I generally think if we'd have lost that game 2-1 and we'd have left it all out on the pitch,
Somebody said earlier, it might have been you, it might have been somebody who commented, if you lose to the better team and you've given everything and left it out there on the pitch, you can't be upset because the team's played to the best of its ability. If you're beaten by the better team of the day, and we were on Saturday by Accrington, you've got to accept that. But equally, you've got to look at our team and think they weren't even 50% of what they can do.
No, look, Cole, that's for me. Look, personally, I always clap.
We're the richest club in that bloody division, and we played the poorest team in that league, and they schooled us. Yeah,
but no, I think to your point, I usually stand there and always clap the team off, irrespective, because I just think if you've given the effort, and do you know what?
He's a happy clapper. No, hang on.
Yeah, but but on the weekend, I didn't. To be quite frank. I did clap Namain when I saw him because he deserved the plaudits, to be fair. But I didn't boo the team. I just got no energy for it. I've got no energy for that. But I understand it, Matt. I understand it. If people are paying their money, you've got the right to express yourself in the way you want to. I don't think we applied ourselves well on the weekend. And I think most of those boos probably come down to the fact we put no effort in and we just look terrible. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens as the weeks go on. But again, I think the more this builds and more losses you see, it's probably just going to kill the atmosphere even more.
Right. I wouldn't argue with that one either. Yeah. But let's talk about the injuries because no, it's not. No, you're still too high.
Fire away, Ash. By the way, stick it in the chat.
Here we go. Stick it in the chat, Ash.
Anyway, sorry, Matt says, topics for discussion. We haven't won home since Cheltenham, and that's now been a month since the last win. Is there a concern that the form we showed last season is going to happen again?
Well, Matt, of course, we've already expressed that. We've already expressed it. We don't want to. Don't get, we're not here. We're not sitting here thinking, we lost on Saturday. Well, that'll make for a good show because everybody will be moaning. I'd rather be sitting here every Wednesday night at 7:45 going, get in. That's another 3 points. And let's laugh at every bloody fan that comes on from the opposition and says, we're going to give you a good game. And we go, really? That's what I'd like. We've had enough. We've had enough of it. We've had enough. People are getting sick of it. All those people in the summer that, well, they weren't a busting lot, but in the summer decided to take a season ticket, right? People that came back because they saw.
He's frozen on this.
He's sick now.
You're back. You froze.
It's a job to motivate yourself to want to go and watch a game, isn't it?
It is. I mean, why
do we put ourselves through it? I don't know.
No, but even Andrew say thanks for joining. Thanks for the comment. I mean, for me, there is a bit of overhang from last season. I think there are players that should have gone that didn't go. But then, are you going to see players go out the door who haven't put the effort in? Ultimately, it's going to be a hard task to do that. I mean, I'd like to see in January a few shifts and lifts.
Oh,
I think
Christ.
It wholly depends.
Can't we deregister people now?
I mean, it wholly depends where we are on the table, right? You're not going to attract top talent if we're down the bottom.
I mean, we're hoping to get Warren on this show, and we were told that he will come on the show. Yeah. But he ain't coming on. He ain't coming on at the moment, is he?
No, of course he's not. Of course. Anyway, Ash has brought in one of those comments. Louis getting the freedom of the city. Amazing, Ash, and fully deserved for me. I mean, the guy is Mr. MK in and out of the stadium and in the city. Not just what he does for the football club, but the stuff he does in the community as well. Really unsung hero. I know he's Mr. Modest, and he probably wouldn't want to talk about it, but if there's anyone that's befitting of it in recent times, for me, Dean Lewington is absolutely it, and I'm really, really pleased for him.
And what does he get for having been bestowed the freedom of the city? Do you know?
He can let his goats or his cows graze on the roundabout, can't he? That was someone.
Sheep.
There we go.
He could drive sheep through Milton Keynes.
That's it. There we go.
And apparently, he's also got a herd of donkeys, and they play on a Saturday.
Yeah, he can herd he can herd Lecco and Hogan through the city.
You're too high.
Yeah, herd Hogan and Lecco through the city. They're too cheap already.
Yeah.
There we go. Ashley said, number 2, with the news that the championship playoff formation changing potentially for next season, would you like it seen in League 1 and 2?
To be honest with you, Ash, I haven't seen it.
I haven't heard it either, Ash. So explain it to us. What is it going to be like the German format? What's going to be happening? Let me know, and we're happy to discuss it.
I'm too worried about Russian bombers coming over.
I'm not worried about that. Dear me, I'd like one down the wing, but that would be nice, wouldn't it? But there we go. Anyway, a few comments on the Facebook page was Ash typing it out, and we got onto the injuries piece. Martin said, I looked at the second goal Saturday. If their forward wanted it more than our defender, 100%.
He ain't a bad player, is he? That Heath.
No, Heath's very player. I mean, to be fair, surprises at Aki, to be fair. Martin said, sad to say, booing started around this time last season. It's a pity. Next 3 games really important. Lang, not what his price tag said, and 100%. Again, Martin, can't disagree with any of that. And he just said, Darren's joined us, by the way. We've been talking about you, Darren, by the way. He said, evening, boys. Give it a go. You never know. Hey. Exactly. Arthur said 299 days.
No, still slightly too high. Come down a bit, Arthur.
There you go, Arthur. And Colin said 333 days, which is higher, obviously, than Arthur's. So there we go. Is that right?
No, it's not. What? Say that again.
I said 333, so it's too high.
No, it's too high.
Yeah. Anyway, Harry asked, "What was the thoughts on the second yellow? I mean, for Offord, what's your thoughts on that, Cole? Late in the day, but was it deserved?" I thought it was
probably.
Deserved. Hate to say it,
probably.
But it's hard to argue against it. You know, probably, I mean, I can understand it, but yeah,
it was a job. To be honest with you, I didn't get a very good. Because I was just going around the roundabout at the hospital.
Right. So you were away from the stadium at the time, Cole. But no, I thought it was. I mean, I probably questioned more the first one. I didn't really think that was reasonable necessarily, but what do I know? No. Arthur said 298. There we go. Down. There we go. Down, Arthur. A lot further down.
No, not a lot further. Just a little bit.
I was trying to hype it up, so we kept this going tonight. Anyway, there we go. Ashley said, I think Lawrence Maguire...
It's been going all bloody night.
Ash said, I think Lawrence Maguire is best suited for a back 3, not a back 2. Yeah, no, I agree with that, Ash. Again, Ash, question for you. What would you like to see the back 3 look like if it is a back 3 on Saturday? Because we're short at the moment.
Solid would be a start.
Solid would be good. Would be good, wouldn't it? Craig said we only have Big Marvin Maguire as centre backs, Waller and Tripp. But yeah, again, Waller and Tripp's an interesting one.
No, it's not.
Well, I mean, they've not played great, and obviously in the the
bloody awful
Pizza Cup or whatever they call it these days.
They need to go on loan, mate. They need to go on loan. National League. I'm sorry, everything I've seen of them this season, they look pretty decent in pre-season friendlies, but once we've got onto the serious stuff and it's league football. To me, they've looked very dodgy, dodgy.
I'm going to challenge back, Cole, because, because with the exception of the main, if people aren't stepping up, do the kids deserve a chance? I think maybe they do. Can't be any worse.
Yeah. Did you watch that EFL trophy
I did see that game and he tripped over it, but we all make mistakes. The difference is, I will say with the kids, is at least they'll want to play for the shirt, Cole. That's for sure. You can't question their desire, maybe their ability, but I'd like to see him at least in the squad. I mean, at the moment, there's no one stepping forward. Why not? Grant said as well. Any news on Gethin Jones? Yes, he is deregistered. It's on the EFL site because he's out for quite some time. So we know that.
We let that go last week.
We did, but it gives an opportunity to bring someone on a free. George Williams was at the stadium. I'll leave it there.
Apparently he's injured though.
Yeah, he is. Murphy's Law, right? But there we go. And Glenn said his brother lives at Toaster and won't come to watch MK Dons. He's gone to Brackley Town. He says it's better football.
Well, they've had 2 wins on the bounce, haven't they? Fair play to them. Well, big up Brackley. Well done, Brackley.
It's embarrassing, right? It's embarrassing. what can you say? Craig said, and we'll get onto his injuries because we're talking about it now, but do you sacrifice Lemonhay Evans at right back and place him in defensive midfield? Yeah, I mean there's a debate to be had with that, Craig. To be honest, I mean we need something in midfield to change up.
It's funny, isn't it? We've had Kelly started the season off quite strongly, didn't he?
Yep.
And then Crowley got integrated into midfield, and he's gone off again, hasn't he?
He has. No,
I mean, 2 or 3 people have said it tonight. You can't play Crowley and Kelly on the same part. So
yeah.
I agree with what you said. I would put Kelly in midfield, probably Lemonhay Evans. I don't know, but there is a school of thought that Kane Thompson-Summers could probably come in.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget Offord's natural position has always been defensive mid. So, I mean, again, there is that option that throws itself up. But then obviously what do you do with defence? It's a catch-22, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, something needs to be done, Craig, definitely. And there needs to be some physicality. Lemonhay Evans is probably, between him and Thompson-Summers, the 2 most physical players on the books at the moment that we've got to offer up, really, in that position. If we do look for it to be more physical on Saturday. Matt said, knowing our luck, we'll go to Shrewsbury and all of a sudden regular first-team players will be missing.
Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised to see Kelly and Crowley out with bad necks. But, we go... Is it still?
No, yeah, it still is. It still is, but you're quite right.
But you do go to Shrewsbury with a little bit of trepidation, waiting for the team to be announced. So all of a sudden to find out like McGiveray's out for 6 weeks or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Harry, your point's valid. I mean, woeful is an understatement. And this is my concern. Is like what I was saying at the beginning of the show is, with the team and the injuries we're seeing already, the depth has become very sparse.
Well, we had Med Winter, didn't we, as substitute? So that shows you how thin we've got.
Yeah, and not just that, it's the options off the bench. We haven't even got dynamics to change it up. I mean, if Lecco and Hogan are your options to change it up, you may as well not bother, to be quite frank.
I mean, you could quite honestly see that there's going to be a couple of kids on the bench on Saturday again, aren't there?
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. Just like off favour. Yeah, I mean, we've been saying it for weeks.
I like that.
It's good. It's good.
Good shapes of it, just not in our favour. I like that. It's very good.
It's
very good.
It's an interesting one. Glenn's just come on as well. Glenn's just said,
let's talk.
Lads, I can't wait to get better and get to away games. Struggling at the moment. I make some home games, but still not all of them. Well, mate, firstly, hope you're feeling better, Glenn, and so hopefully you're recovering quite well. We'd love to see you back, mate. And it's not just about the game, right? It's about seeing your friends and family as well.
Did Glenn get injured on the training ground?
Probably. It was Warren that did it for
it. He's just nicely into the latest one.
Mr. Collins again.
Another training ground injury.
So my question to you, Cole, is...
Well, I've got a question as well.
That's fine. But
are we training down at Wolfton yet on the new pitch?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware.
Does anybody know?
Yeah.
Are we training down at Wolfton?
I think for me, though, my question to you is, what do you think's going on there? Because it seems to be a lot more frequent this season. Do you think that's down to bad luck? Do you think that's down to training regime?
Well, what do you think? For the second week in a row, I tried to get someone to come on the show tonight regarding this, who warned about this before the season even started. And I'll say his name again, Paul Walmsley, better known to a lot of people as Camdenite, wrote an article on the Concrete Roundabout. Some of you may or may not go on that forum, but he said that Warne breaks players.
Yeah, I've heard that.
He gets a lot of injuries, and I think, I was going to get him to come on and, add a bit more meat to the bones on that, but it looks very much like that Warne is breaking players.
Yeah.
What's that? Go back to that comment. I'll just
about the shirts, Cole. About the shirts.
I forgot to say this earlier, but I love both your shirts. I'm trying to get a show going on Colin, his background with a Mastodon shirt. Yeah. I recently found his storage and bought a feedback. Oh, good on, boy. Yeah. Yeah, this is only a small amount of my collection.
It is. I've seen the whole lot. Same as mine. I've got a whole wardrobe full of them over there.
Yeah, I've got a wardrobe full. I've got a few things hanging on hangers here as well. And, so I'm a bit of a merch junkie. So, but it's a nice backdrop for me. So,
Exactly. On that point, Craig, I know he's training with the squad. He's injured at the moment, so I'd imagine if he was looking at him, he's probably going to wait till he's injury-free as a very minimum. But apparently, from what I've heard, at the start of the season, again, George was asking if there was any options to be involved, and he was told no at that time. But things change. So at the moment, nothing's come out of it, but he is training with the squad. So it'd be interesting to see if it does come from that. I mean, even if it's just
what do you think? Are you in the same school of thought that it is Warne that's breaking players? I mean, a lot of people used to say, "Oh, Woofton, another bloody injury," because they moaned about Woofton not being an ideal surface to train on, and people were getting injuries. Now we've got a 4G pitch down at Woofton. I think we're training on it. I'm not sure. Somebody can enlighten us on that. But Aidan says, yeah. Why are we still getting the injuries? The only thing that you could think about is Warne's doing something.
I think it's a mixture of things, Cole.
Or is Lecco going around kicking every bugger so he can get a game? I don't know.
He still wouldn't get a game. No, mate, I think it's a mixture. I think some of that's down to bad luck and bad timing. It happens. It's just Murphy's Law sometimes. The new training ground, the changes... stability is key. So, I mean, that's going to affect players until they're getting used to things. That may be a factor. I don't know too much about the training regime. I'd love to see if anyone's been down and watched. But, I mean, if there's a focus on the Mike Williamson sort of approach, which was just on tactics and not a lot of effort. If you remember Graham Alexander, and I know from speaking to my good friend, Mr. Anthony Stewart, who used to play for us, as you all well know, but he used to say he ran it like an army camp. He would run them into the ground, cross-country training, all sorts. So you're going to get managers who drill them to the nth degree, and then others who don't, just focus on tactics.
Yeah, have Monday, Tuesday off, lads.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It's too early to tell. I mean, if it carries on...
down, Greg. Get yourself a donut.
Yeah. If it carries on and we see it like for the next few months, you've got to question, is it the tactics? Maybe it's just people were carrying niggles over from last season. The training's exposed.
Well, I don't know, but it feels to me at the moment like we always used to complain that we signed sick notes on.
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
Right. So before we go any further on that, because I've got a few on here, we've got Arthur said 296.
Ooh, no.
Colin Gidds has said 295. Yeah, there we go.
Colin, you've just won yourself a baseball cap.
There you go, Colin. Come and see us at the next home game outside the Casbah and the.
Unless you go to Shrewsbury.
If you go to Shrewsbury, let us know. Yeah, absolutely.
If you go to Shrewsbury, let us know. We'll bring it with us.
You better see us. We'll be the mugs wearing these.
But if not, if you're not going, Colin, on Saturday to Shrewsbury, come down and see us at the Casbah. We'll be there from about 2:00. We'll let you have your cap. Well done, mate.
Absolutely. Ash has come back on question 2. He said they're expanding it to include teams that finish 7th and 8th. I think that's a bit excessive, to be honest. You may also put the top 12 in it if you're going to be that. It just seems too much to me. So I'm not sure if it will be match to conference system again.
Yeah.
I mean, the conference systems.
Yeah.
I mean, that would make more sense. I'm not really for it, to be honest, Ash. I think, to be honest, I remember the days of the top 3 going up, and that was it. And 2 points rather than 3 points for a win. So the things have changed. They always change. But look, I mean, starting to put in 7th, 8th, 9th, where does it stop, mate? Where does it stop? And where's the competitiveness then? So a team that finishes 8th could potentially get into the Premier League. Seems ridiculous to me. I think the formation. I like personally. I'm going to be biased, obviously, with where are we? My German team up there, but I like the way they do it in the Bundesliga, which is.
Oh, you would?
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, you could expand to 3 teams, but the top.
Tell us what the Bundesliga's all about.
So the top team gets promoted, so it'd be the top 2 in this case in the UK, and the 3rd team will play the 3rd bottom team of the league above on a home and away.
Well, don't they do that sort of thing in Scotland or something?
I think they used to. I can't remember now, Cole. But I prefer that. I like that because it then gives the team that were 3rd bottom the opportunity to get a reprieve, and the team that finished 3rd top the opportunity to get in. And I think that's better for me because that shows that's the teams that have done the most to get this close to it. Seems fairer to me than sort of fight the top 5 or 6. But that's just me. I just think when you're going further and further down, it makes a mockery of the whole point of promotion and relegation, right?
Yeah.
I actually don't. I'll tell you what I don't like. And maybe would have been caught a crop. I don't like the fact that 4 go down from League 1 and 4 go up from League 2. I think it should just be 3-3-3, and I'd probably open up 3 to the conference as well, and 3 up from the conference. To be quite honest,
Right. Okay.
That's
Right.
just
Shall we move on?
Let's go for it. Go on, fire away.
Sure. Right. I mean, we've sort of dealt with the recent results. What's happening? Does Crowley move to
Right
RF?
forward.
Right. Yeah. But I personally wouldn't drop Hepburn up. No, I wouldn't drop
I wouldn't drop
Hepburn
Hepburn, not for a
No,
minute.
definitely.
One of the better
Not.
players this season for sure. If his application
Yeah.
for finishing is just a bit better, it'd be fantastic. But that will come. It will come. But
I think we can deduce from what we've said tonight. It's, do you blame Warren, the players, both, or the injuries? Well, I think it's a little bit of everything. It's a perfect storm, if you like. We're struggling at the back. We're making schoolboy errors at the back. Warren's admitted on at least one occasion he hasn't set the team up right. The players, well, we've discussed that as well.
I'm with you on that.
Lack of effort is bloody appalling. Anyway, let's move on.
We will. Just quickly on your point, Craig, I would have him as an attacking midfielder behind a front two, but that's just me because I think that's his best.
Well,
position.
That's where he was bloody potent for Notts County. I'm surprised Warren hasn't put McGiveray as centre forward yet.
Give it time.
Why do managers do that? They buy a player that's excelled in a position at a certain club and they sign him on and then get him to do something he doesn't normally do, an unfamiliar role. It's bloody, I don't know. Yes, they are seeing it when I've gone past around 10, 11 a.m. Okay, yeah, all right. Cheers, Ash. You're on about the training.
Yeah, training ground, yeah.
Is it Warner or is it weak players? They're not exactly smashing it on the pitch. So I think it's a bit of both, mate. Bit of both. Yeah. Could you drop Gilby lower and have Crowley in the attacking midfield role that he played at Notts? Yeah, you could do that. I mean, bloody hell, I'll try anything.
Be interesting. I mean, again, mentioning
I'll wear a Greg's bloody carrier bag on my head if I thought it made a difference.
Yeah, I mean, Lou's point's interesting because Gilby's been a bit hot and cold this season as well, to be fair. I mean, and again, not pointing fingers because, he always tries to apply himself most of the time, but do you just change it up completely just because you're a captain? Does that give you a God-given right to be starting? Question posed. Would you drop it?
No, well, I mean, look at Louis on his club captain, and he wasn't getting a start all the while. Anyway, let's move on.
Go on, Carl.
Some people are calling out the atmosphere at SMK as probably a contributing factor to why we aren't playing really well. But in my opinion, it's a bit of a two-way street. The players have got to show something on the park for you to get behind. When they see absolute dross and lack of effort, it's difficult for the cowshed and the rest of the ground to raise their game. But another thing is, somebody said, well, what about the likes of Mendes, Lang and Collins and people like this and Hepburn, Murphy and Collar and all that they've come in? They've played at Stadium MK before. They know there's 6, 7, 8,000 there. They can't, I'm not saying they are, but they can't now come, well, you can't use it as an excuse to say, well, what do you expect the atmosphere? That's bullshit. I'm sorry. They knew what the atmosphere was going to be like at Stadium MK before they started, or did they look at the stadium and think, oh, 30,000 in here every week? That's good. But somebody pointed out to me that our away form is pretty good. Not bad. I mean, we show a lot of heart away from home. But the atmosphere away from home is superb. I mean, the atmosphere at Chesterfield was legendary, and, when Chesterfield fans are praising you for the support you're giving the team, you're starting to do something right. So do you think it has any effect, you people at home and, and do you know? Or what do you think?
I mean, it doesn't help, Cole. I mean, it's a thing, right?
Well, no.
For me, again, obviously, people will castigate as they always do. Oh, you've got no fans. We do have fans. We just got a ground that's miles too big for us at the moment. Yeah. I think when you're in a ground the size of ours, and I'm not knocking it because we love the stadium, but it is far, far too big for where we are currently. That's not to say it won't be at some point, but I think it makes even more imperative that the fans, firstly, for me, should all be congregated together, ideally. And I'm not saying necessarily everything, but like if you've got blocks in the east, the east stand, the club red, the family stand, the cowshed, but I'll just condense it in a bit more because I think that would probably help the noise. I think it has a massive impact on players. Doesn't matter whether you're Man United, MK Dons, Accrington Stanley. If the fans are on your back, it's going to have a negative impact.
Yeah, but the fans are only going to be on your back if you're not giving the effort, are they?
Yeah, no, I agree. But I think you can't start...
It's two-way street.
Yeah, for me, and this is just my opinion, it doesn't mean everyone agree, but I think for me, you've got to go into every game and start with backing the team. You've got to give them the benefit of the doubt every game, and most of the time we do. If we go a goal behind, but there's effort there, I probably wouldn't start getting on people's backs. I understand it if, again, the Aki result and the Aki, the way we played was just atrocious. I can understand that a bit more, but it doesn't help. I mean, if it's a close game and you start to get on the players' backs, I think that can ultimately stop you from getting anything out of it. So I just think if you're seeing the effort there, even if it's not going our way, you've got to continue to back the team. If people aren't seeing the effort and people just don't seem to care.
I think people are getting frustrated, though. We've said this many times.
Yeah.
Because they're not seeing the effort.
Well, that's my point. Is if the effort's there, I don't personally feel comfortable critiquing. If do you know what?
No.
It's not good. But if it's not, I can't. I personally don't. But I couldn't argue with someone moaning about it and get an air in their opinion. But I don't think it helps, and it just exacerbates an issue that's already there. So I think
you would agree then, because the atmosphere is away from home.
Away from home, we've been brilliant, Cole. I mean, we sing hell or high water, and I give examples of some teams around the EFL. Looking back, God, about 10, 20 years now. But when Portsmouth were in the Premier League, there was that season where they were miles behind Birmingham. Looked like they weren't. Harry Redknapp was a manager. Looked like they had a cat's in hell's chance of staying up, and the supporters backed them 90 minutes every single game, whether win, lose, or draw, and they managed to make one of the most miraculous escapes on that Premier League season I have ever seen. So it does show it can have an impact. So there's other examples out there.
And obviously, if the home support's buoyant,
it rubs off.
Yeah.
So it's that for me. But like I say, people are entitled to their opinion. But I just think with the fans that we've got, we're a close-knit group because there's not many of us at the moment that go down as regulars. You get to know the regular faces and that. I just think, look, air your opinions, you're entitled to it. But during the 90 minutes, if they're trying and it's not going our way, please don't just jump straight on their back. Try and give them the benefit of the doubt. If it's another Aki game and they're taking the mickey and they look like they can't be bothered, by all means, say what you want.
Am I allowed to boo when Lecco and Hogan come on?
I do every time. I just sit down. I just sit down like this, just saying, "Oh Christ, down to 9 men." But yeah, everyone's entitled to their opinion, Cole. Everyone's going to have a different opinion on it. But for me, I think it makes an impact. And away from home, the fans, I would
two-way street. Yeah. Well, what Matt's written there, yeah, Matt. In my opinion, it's two-way street.
Yeah.
You've got to see something to get beyond. If you can't see something to get 100%. Beyond,
and that's my point. So if the effort's there, even if it's not going our way, but you can see the effort, you've got to continue to back the boys. If they're not making the effort, by all means, feel free to air your opinions. That's my take on it anyway. But yeah, I take your point, Matt, and I agree. I do agree. But Grant just said here, he said, when the fans start turning, it has a knock-on effect. I boo the ref. I do, doesn't. They're bloody atrocious, Grant. And the other team, but not our players. I didn't do that last season. It's interesting you say that, because sometimes I think when you boo other players or G them up when they're taking a corner or a throw-in, it can work against you sometimes if they're actually a pretty decent player. So, yeah, there's a 50-50 one on that as well. Luke QB1 just said, I'm not sure Accrington had about 40 fans in the stadium, yet their players played their hearts out. Just goes to prove if you want it enough, Luke, that's the main thing, right?
Yeah.
And I think for me, they just showed a desire that we need to be showing every week. And as I say, you're not going to win every game just by desire, but it does help.
I think there was 58, Lou. But yeah, your point's correct.
You're right.
Yeah, your point's correct.
So Craig says, sorry, I don't think we're great when we're winning, but over the last 12 years, I haven't seen many instances where the home crowd really galvanizes, but other teams with over 75 years history do it. Yeah, and like I say, it's going to be like that, Craig. There's going to be hit and miss. But
we're young.
It was, relatively, and we're not. But I mean,
and I think we all agree. Well, I know. What do you prefer to do? Do you prefer to go to home games, or do you prefer to go to away games?
I'm torn on that because I love an away day, and I feel like I mean, all the fans, majority of the people, unless we're doing well, you see their same faces every week and the dedication there. That's not to say that everyone that doesn't go to away games isn't, because people can't afford it sometimes, Cole. There's reasons for it. But yeah, I mean, away games for me, you just feel that there's more togetherness because you're all
Well, you're sort of appreciative of your fellow Dons fans that have made the effort, and it's basically us against them, and
no one likes this sort of thing. It's that mentality.
mentality, and I do enjoy a good away game. I'm looking forward to Saturday.
I'll go back to my Wimbledon days because I'm the old git that still can. But I mean, I remember days at Selhurst Park and at Plough Lane, and it was just atrocious, Cole, sometimes. So
I know. I've been down there when there's been more away fans than home fans.
I mean, one of the games I was at towards the end of our time as sort of down at Selhurst Park, there was 20 odd of us, and there were 15 or 1,200 Pompey fans, and they ended up taking the home end. That's how ridiculous it got. But my point is, it doesn't matter whether you're old, new. It's just a mentality. It's a mentality thing. And unfortunately, a lot of things these days with the younger generation, most people, not always, but seem to be a little bit more fickle or quick to judge. And I think sometimes, to me, it's a bigger piece. It's like, actually, if the effort's there but results aren't going your way, is that really something? Yeah, it's not great, but you can't fault the effort. If there's no effort and results aren't going your way, you've kind of got a reason to argue it. So I think it's down to individual preference, but for me, away days are special. They're always special. I love home games. I love being at home, seeing the regulars that come and take the effort and cheer the boys on as well. But you'd have to say away games probably we get more of a reaction from the players. So I mean, again, particularly this weekend.
And I think actually there's a different mentality when you go to an away game.
There is
for a fan. You think to yourself, we're outnumbered here. Come on, we've got to, be really vocal. So there is that, I suppose, as well.
Sorry, I've got
comments.
A few comments on the Facebook page. Is the captaincy weighing Gilby down? I mean, I said this, Stephen, last season. And again, thanks for joining, Stephen. But I think it didn't help last season. It did feel like that. But then he came on like a man renewed at the start of this season. So I don't know if it's that. I think it's a number of factors. It's, whether... I don't want to say this because I think Gilby's a good guy, but whether he's the right guy to be marshalling the players together, is he the sort of marshal, the boss, the vocal person that you need? Sometimes for me personally, Cole, and again, it's personal preference, I think usually a goalkeeper's a good captain because they can marshal it from the back. They can dictate things a bit more.
Sometimes the pressure of being a captain weighs heavy on people's shoulders, doesn't it? I mean,
it does. So I think goalie's usually a good one because, you kind of the maverick of the team. Always, they're always a bit of a different character, a goalkeeper.
I was a goalkeeper. Have I ever told you?
Yeah, I could tell you that even more. I'm joking, but I know McGivery for me is a good leader. Good experienced pro. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe you change it up just to see if it does help. Gilbert. There's no failing in changing it up if it's not working. Who knows? But you do feel like he's lost a bit, and maybe that's because he's so focused on trying to get the rest of the team together. Who knows? That's a good question posed on that, Stephen. Colin said he'll be at the Gills game for his cap. It's at 12:30, which it is. Tim said
he'll be at the Gills game, Colin.
Yeah, he will be. He'll be
at the Gillingham game.
Gillingham
Sorry,
game, the Gills.
Yeah, okay, all right, yeah.
Tim said original playoffs were third from bottom of the old first division, played third or in the old second division over 2 legs. Yeah, that's the way I like it, but I'm a traditionalist, probably, Tim. Scrapped after Chelsea rioted after Middlesbrough relegated them in 1988. So there you go. Thanks for the stat, Tim. Appreciate that. Martin said the atmosphere was flat on Saturday. Fans did try, but the team was dire. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? You need something to G you up. And 100% on that one, Martin. Away support, brilliant because we are concentrated together. Yeah, exactly my point. It's not the result, it's the manner of the result. Yep, couldn't agree more with all of those points there. And away games all day long. Yeah, he agrees on that point as well.
I prefer away games. Or I really do. I love our stadium. I love seeing people, the same people every week.
100%, by the way, Craig.
I love having, hanging around the Casbah, having the best cheeseburger in the league and all the rest of it. But yeah, nothing beats an away day. The anticipation of driving to the game, a bit of a, different stadium. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, so Just say that this one here from Matt. He said, regarding the home and away, I remember the 13-14 season where for the second half of the season we couldn't win or score at home. It's true, I remember that. But we just couldn't stop winning away from home. Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Sometimes it just happens that way, right? But to be fair...
Yeah, I mean, very often our away form is appalling and our own form is pretty good. And this year it's done a complete bloody 360 on us.
It has, but, you know, I don't care where the wins come from. But I will say, before we move on... Shrewsbury won quite a few accolades from Colin and I over the years in different guises for their catering, for their
they won the MKDSA Ground of the Year 2 years on the trot.
They did. So they're away. That's
an away day experience. So there you go. The coach travel is sold out, but there are other ways of getting to Shrewsbury. You know, I would say to anybody, go. I think you'll really enjoy it. And hopefully we get a result.
Yeah, I mean, their fan park a little bit outside, behind the away end is brilliant.
Yeah.
And most of their fans, they'll take the mickey, but most of them are reasonable. I've never had any problems with them, to be honest. But yeah, generally a good day out. I do like the away day at Shrewsbury. Just hopefully we get the 3 points on the Saturday. Lou said, I love Gilby. To me, it spoke volumes that him and Tomlinson were the only players who went to Louis' retirement evening last year. 100%, mate. 100%.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, it goes without saying, to be fair, like that. I love the guy, like you. I think he's great. But like you say, do you change it up? Do you not? Who knows? But yeah, have you show it's the other arm? There we go. Don't know if you can see that.
That's Louis.
That's Louis. If you haven't seen it, by the way, come and see us at Stadium MK and see that's Colin. It's the one where Dean's got his arms out celebrating.
Yeah.
Cracking game.
Sorry, it's not great light in here, so
that's all right. No, it's good to see it, Cole. Good to see it. So yeah, no, I think as you say, it's Gilby is a top guy. I don't think anyone questions that. I think it's just a case of some people are thinking, is it weighing him down? Is it not? I don't know. And until you change it up, it's hard to really tell. But I suspect it might be.
Right.
Anyway, Shrewsbury stats, Cole. Shrewsbury stats.
Well, no, hang on. I think we should move on to another subject before we get on Shrewsbury. Is that all right?
Yeah, go for it.
I was going to ask you, with Pete as the owner, we pretty much had a feel of when things were coming to a head, or when a manager was going to get the bullet and all the rest of it.
The line in the sand,
yeah, the line in the sand, exactly. We don't know what Fahad's like.
I've heard things. I've heard things.
He's never in front of the camera. Not like Pete, who was a bit of a media whore.
I'm saying nothing. Carry on.
Good comment, that, isn't it?
Maybe not. The thing is, by the way, Pete does still come to home games. He's
I know. I saw Pete. Yeah,
this weekend. Yeah, so fair play to him.
Brought his sandwiches with him on Saturday.
He did.
We don't know what Fahad's like, do we? We don't. Obviously,
well,
we know less about Fahad than.
That's fair. That's fair. It's an unknown quantity. I think.
So my question is there's always a line in the sand for every club. How far's it got to go? Where do you think Fahad's line in the sand is? And if people don't know what I'm talking about,
I think there's a number of factors here, Cole.
That's saying how long's Warren got before it starts getting dicey.
Do I think they're going to be a little bit more ruthless? I mean, I will go on the premise, and I'll take a holistic view here, but just look at how hang
on, let me Google that.
Go and Google it. Holistic view. But for me, it's more look at how the club's changed this season from last season. I mean, again, I know Fahad was in charge, but that was a transition. You've had a lot of people out the door, staff-wise, who have been here for a very long time with a lot of knowledge, which conjecture, but my view is some of that's been quite ruthless, personally. I feel the club is now, and understandably, it's being run more as a business than a family club. I think that's fair to say. And there's been a few decisions that have been done by the club that have been good for the club. There's a few decisions that fans might question without going too much into it. So I feel that the Pete Winkleman era was a little bit more of, we're all in this together. I'm the owner, but, this is a family scenario. Whereas I think now it's more, I'm the owner of this club. I'm putting money in, and I want to see success.
And he's put a lot of money in.
Yeah, and I'm not knocking it, but I'm just saying I think there's going to be more of a business approach to those decisions rather than an emotional approach per se that we've seen in the past.
So what you're saying? So in a nutshell, right?
So in a nutshell, I think for me
things aren't in a good place, right? Right
Yeah.
now, right today,
Yeah.
things aren't in a good place, right? If we go to Shrewsbury on Saturday and lose, does that put Warren in jeopardy?
I don't think it's necessarily in jeopardy just yet, but it will certainly be a step towards that. I think they are going to be.
You lose the next 3 games.
If you lose the next 2 or 3 games, I think questions will start to be asked. And I think that personally, and I could be wrong, but I think the board will be more ruthless from a business perspective of wanting.
Well, that was the feeling I had. I get a feeling this guy's going to be sitting here. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
It's just theory.
Theory. I got a feeling that this guy's going to be sitting there thinking, I've invested £6 or £7 million in this club, probably more, maybe a little bit less. We don't know. How much longer am I going to put up with this?
Yeah, I mean, for me,
before I see something. Yeah, because he's sitting there at the moment, and when he came in, the expectancy was we were going to be up there, we were going to go up. So attendances went up a little bit. We sold a few more seat tickets.
A little bit.
Now I've seen people walking out at half time.
Well, not just that, Cole. I mean, I won't name names.
How much more can they see people walking out the door?
I was in the club shop on the weekend, and there were people coming in asking about getting refunds on season tickets, which I thought personally was a bit over the top, but people are within their rights to have their view. Personally, this is just my
before the game or after it?
After. My personal view is you've got to give a manager at some point time to turn it around. I mean, the Alex Ferguson of Man United example being one.
He's 1 game away from.
Yeah, but I personally would give Warren this season, irrespective of what happens, because I think he needs a shakedown. He's got some new players. He's got hangover from previous. I think another transfer window or 2 is needed to really see that. As painful as that might be, I think you've got to do that. Do I think the owners will take that time? I don't think so. I think if we get to January and we're in trouble,
I think me and you are both in the same mind that sacking managers solves nothing.
No, it doesn't. Well, it's proven it. Look at the season. We got Williamson left, then Lewis left, then Gladwin came in, then Warren came.
It was 4 managers, nothing changed.
Chaotic, and we were lucky to stay up. You can't. But again, I see?
In my book, it solves nothing.
No, I'm agreeing with you on that, but I don't think the ownership will see it that way. If in 10 games time,
I'm with you, mate. I think in their minds they'll have a sort of a scenario, and if that scenario is breached, I think they'll act, mate.
There's a threshold. Yeah, there's going to be a threshold.
There is that threshold. Where it is, we don't know. But I'll be interested to know what everybody else thinks.
Well, Craig's just pretty much reiterated I'd give Warren this season and next. We want promotion, but Rome wasn't built in a day. No, I'm with you on that thought process, Craig, completely. But unfortunately, it's that old cliche, isn't it? This is a game, a long week a week's a long time in politics. It's getting to that point now with football as well. I think that people who are seeing this, putting money in, want instant success. We know it doesn't happen that way.
Well, I think Fahad went into this thinking, if I throw enough money at this, we're going up and all the rest of it. So he's seen his investment basically, evaporating in front of his eyes. Yeah,
absolutely. Matt said, I think it's odd one with Fahad, as when I wanted Williamson out, it seemed like we tried to keep him. Yes, no. I think he was on his way out, to be quite honest, Matt. I think another few weeks of losses, he'd have been gone. So it was the best bit of business we ever did, personally.
Yeah.
Very weak. He said, I accepted Lindsay was going to be given time, but he was sacked. I mean, Lindsay was just one of those. I think we all wanted it to work, and for whatever reason, it wasn't so much that it didn't. It was then his mentality towards the end just became weird. And sort of lost a grip on reality a little bit with some of the comments that were coming out at the time. But again, it proves, isn't it? 4 managers, we just said in a season, the instability in itself almost caused us to have the worst case scenario. If it wasn't for the beginning of that season, I think we would have gone down. Granted, I think Warren should be here for at least a full season and see how we fare. A lot seems dependent on the injuries at the moment. Yeah, I mean, that's part of it, right? If he had a full fit squad, but we've seen managers at other clubs get sacked for less, and they don't use that as an excuse. So again, Grant, who knows? I agree with you on that.
Has anybody been sacked from League Two yet?
No, not that I'm aware of, Cole. Not yet, anyway.
Oh.
Next comment we've got a few on the other one on the Facebook as well, but we need 2 years minimum, in my opinion, says Lou. I don't think a lot of players he brought in will stay in League Two for another season, though. That's a fair point. It's a fair point. We shall see, I guess. We shall see. But I'm with you. I think we all have that mindset that he needs time. And I think he's a good manager. You know, he hasn't done what he's done at other clubs by luck. That's a record, and sometimes it just needs to take a bit of time to shake out. Ash says changing manager won't solve the problem of the players. Do the same with the next one.
It won't.
No, if it's players you need to get out of the club.
It won't, Ash. But we're trying to get into the mind of Fahad and thinking, you know, we're fans. He's a guy that's playing a load of money in. What's he thinking?
Yeah, exactly. Matt said, I hope Warner's given sufficient time, but I think a lot of people will start to get concerned if we don't win at Shrewsbury. Yeah, I mean, the noise gets louder, right? It's just one of those things. There are fans out there who, for whatever reason, are fickle. Like one week you're awful, the next week you're God's greatest gift to creation. Cheltenham manager's gone.
Oh, the Cheltenham manager.
It's gone. Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't realise that, Ash. Thanks for that. So there you go. There has been one.
I thought Ash was putting my name forward to be the Cheltenham manager.
I mean, he couldn't do any worse, mate. Just give it a crack. Alfie Burr has joined us. Evening, Alfie. He said, Colin, thoughts on Darren Burr's lack of hair? I can understand it myself.
No comment.
Alfie.
He's my mucker. I can't say nothing about
Alfie,
it.
it's clearly because he's generally worried about you as a parent, and it's all fallen out due to the stress of raising you. That will be his comeback, no doubt. Colin said it's all goes wrong probably next 7 games. Yeah, I mean next 7 or 8 games. If we're not winning,
the pressure is going to mount. There's no doubt about it.
It is, and it's horrible, isn't it? It's horrible.
But I mean, we're only guessing. We're only
theorising. Yeah, I mean, what we think versus what the board thinks. South Don's joined us. Evening, South Don. He said we are seeing managers off. So we are seeing managers off all abilities. Everton were the same with their managers, yeah, and look where they are. They're still flirting with relegation. So, yeah, you're never going to turn it around if you don't stick at something. Stephen said Cheltenham manager's gone as well to confirm what Ash has said. So, there you go. So, yeah, one has gone. But then I think, again, Cheltenham's a basket case. The manager was washing the clothes 9 in them from what I'd heard.
Yeah, well, that's what the Cheltenham guy told us, didn't he? He said he's washing the kit.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I feel sorry for him, but I think there's mitigating circumstances at that place at the moment. One that I think will be down the bottom at the end of the season if they don't change things up soon.
Obviously, wasn't putting conditioner in the shorts.
Well, exactly. Yeah, it was not. He wasn't conditioning the players the right way, Colin.
No.
Anyway, I know, terrible joke. Dad joke. Stats. What are we walking into with Shrewsbury on the weekend? Obviously, we haven't got our regular guest this week. So, what are we expecting?
Do you want me to make out on the Shrewsbury man?
You can do if you want to. There you go. But no, I mean,
somebody asked earlier on what our record was. I can't specifically tell you what it was away from home. Somebody's probably going to go on Google right now and say this is our record away from home at Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, in our history, we've played them 22 times. We've won 8, drawn 7, lost 7, goals for 31, goals against 27. So really, it's a fact paper.
Yes.
There's nothing in it. There's really nothing in it. I could, if I dug deep enough, tell you the exact every single result. But if anybody knows what our away form is like at Shrewsbury, please post it up. I should imagine, judging looking at that, there's probably 11 games. So
I tell you what, it's been interesting for me. I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but Michael Appleton obviously is their gaffer. He's usually had quite a bit of success. You look at Lincoln, Portsmouth. Appleton, yeah. You look at what he's done at Portsmouth, Lincoln, and a few others over the years. He's actually got a relatively good record as a manager. So, again,
and don't forget, how many times have we been, as Appleton, been favourite to come to us?
Yeah, exactly. So,
more than once.
Yeah, well, exactly. But I think it's interesting, again, is it that the Warren scenario? Is it the players letting him down or lack of resource, lack of finance? What do you think, Cole?
I don't know. Shrewsbury's... I can remember us having quite a rivalry with Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
like we did Mansfield, and you know, I really don't know. I really don't know what the situation is at Shrewsbury. It's pretty the guy's not on to tell us, but you know, you'd think Michael Appleton would have been a good appointment. He's been there since
Last season, wasn't it?
last season. I think he joined late last season, probably around the March time.
Ainsworth walked away, didn't he? That was right.
Yeah, and but from what I've seen, his record this season. No, I say the record this year. He's been at Shrewsbury for 21 games.
Yep.
They've won 3.
Bloody hell.
3. They've drawn 4 and lost 14. You have to ask yourself, with a win ratio that is around 14, 15%, something of that nature,
Right.
You've got to say that Appleton is on bloody dodgy ground. And if we go there on Saturday, we've been talking about what happens if we lose, what happens if they lose.
Well, not just that. I mean, from
Appleton could be in bloody serious trouble, mate.
Well,
if they can afford to sack him.
Well, this is the question, right? I mean, for me though, you look at where their goals are coming from, which they're not. I think you've got 2 players on 2 goals each, Cole, something like that. I forget.
No, 3 players.
3 players, is it?
3 players,
is it John Marquis? Is it? Yeah, he's up there.
Former Pompey player.
Yeah.
Who, if anybody with a decent memory, has been a pain another pain in the backside for us in the past.
Yeah.
Got Sam Klukas.
That's
people will know Sam's name.
Yeah.
He's a wing back, and we've got Bradley Even or something of that nature, who plays in a 2 up front scenario.
Well, the other unknown quantity.
You know Marquis quite well, don't you?
I do. I mean, Pompey, Doncaster. He's he's back in the day. He's a very good player. But the unknown quantity for me for this game, Chuck Zaneki's just signed for them, and you can see him popping up with a goal against us, can't you? That's the thing.
Chuck Zaneki. He signed on in.
Wasn't that long ago? Was it a few weeks?
It wasn't that long ago. No, he was released by Charlton.
Yeah,
and he's been there. I don't think he's probably played a little cameo, 15, 20 minutes. He's probably maybe struggling with fitness or an injury, which wouldn't be, a shock. But Chuck Zaneki's at Shrewsbury. How do you feel about that one, Dodds fans?
Yeah, it's just Murphy's Law, right? It's set up for us to be punished with the next player. That's my worry, Cole. But we'll see if the hoodoo. But yeah, I mean, so Craig just said that the January window will be the biggest barometer if Fahad is backing. Well, we'll see. We'll see if we get that far, Craig. Ultimately, again, who knows, mate, at this point. But yeah, I mean, if he's still there, he needs to put the money down if we're close to it. But again, financial fair play. Ash is usually quite good with these things, but I don't know if that would breach things. We'd have to move people out before we bring people in. It's all of that chessboard piece movement, isn't it?
I wonder who we could get rid of.
I can think of quite a few, Cole. Hogan and Lecco for a start. Buy one, get one free. There we go. But yeah, I mean, going back to Shrewsbury. I mean, again, it's hard. Again, I'm going to say this. I'm going to curse myself. On paper, it's hard to see them coming out of it with a win, but at the same time,
it's hard to see us coming out with a win.
I'm going to say, I know we haven't got to predictions yet, but
is it possible for both teams to lose?
I think it's possible for a ball draw of 0-0 potentially.
Yeah.
Which would probably suit both teams at this point right now, just to come away with something. But who knows?
By the way, anybody at home, Chuck Zaneki played 94 games for Milton Keynes.
He did.
Over 3 seasons.
Yep.
And who can ever forget 2 moments in Chuck Zaneki's MK Dons career stick in my mind. The day we played Peterborough on 1-0 and we were reduced to 9 men.
Yep.
Osman So got sent off, and I think probably Joe Walsh was the other one.
Joe Walsh was the other one. Yep.
Joe Walsh is there. And we played with 9 men. We beat him 1-0. And I've never been in such a state of shock when I walked out of that stadium.
It wasn't just that.
I was elated with the effort.
That was my favourite game of all time, by the way. I know people can say about, cup wins or whatever. That was my favourite game.
Yeah.
Because there was 15 minutes of injury time. That ref was doing everything to let Peter get back into that. And they couldn't. And it was wonderful.
I tell you what the funniest thing was with that game is, right? I was parked up the other end of the car park from where I park now.
Yeah.
But I had to walk past the front, and Peterborough fans were walking down to get to their cars, and the look of shock on their faces. Some of them were ashen faced, mate. It was.
Well, it was the season we went down, the Dan McKeachie season. That's the madness of it. But there we are.
Yeah.
Have you seen
and the other one was the goal he scored at London Road in that 4-0 demolition of them, where he hit the ball, and I shall never forget it. They slow-mowed the shot, and they still couldn't get the ball. They still couldn't show the ball because the ball went in so quick. It was unbelievable.
No. So Grant's son just said, have you heard the rumours of Dele Alli joining MK Dons? No, I don't think it's going to happen. I think that's just wild rumour. I mean, again, if you're going to spend big money out, it's a hell of a gamble. You know, I think, again, you've got Wrexham, you've got Birmingham, and others are interested in sniffing around. If he's going to go anywhere, probably the Championship. There again, do I actually see him coming back playing football full stop? Probably not, which is sad at 29. But I don't know. I mean, I mean, obviously his mental health and everything that's happened to him is just dreadful. Don't get me wrong, and it's heartbreaking. But I'm finding it hard. If he's gone to a few clubs and it's not worked, yes, I'd love to see him back. I don't think we could afford him, and I don't know if he'd be up for it.
Yeah, but I mean, if you did take Dele Alli back, you get him on a free. Yeah, you get him on a free, but he's got to be pay as you play. You know, and even I would say to him, sorry, son, we ain't playing you. We're giving you the window to prove yourself.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, I do.
Yes, I do.
I do think he'd stay. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, again, one of the few players that really does care about this club, and you can see that day in day out. So I think so. But he's 33 now, Cole. He's knocking on.
Yeah. Anyway, as you know, I do a little bit of research.
As you always do.
As I always do. I've earmarked somebody as a potential danger on Saturday.
Go on.
Ismail Kabir. Arsenal graduate, plays on the right side of a front two. He's only 19, but he's well regarded at Arsenal. He made his FA Cup, he made his EFL Cup debut, replacing Raheem Sterling, no less. Yeah, 5-1 win over Bolton. So, but he ain't that big, but he's quick and tricky, and I think he's going to be a little bit like the guy Heath that played last week. And he could be a bloody thorn in our side if he starts, that is. But don't know about that, obviously. We'll see that on Saturday. But, yeah, I've earmarked him to be the main danger on Saturday.
Okay. I mean, for me, don't forget, the last four results, we're walking into obviously playing Shrewsbury, but you had 0-0 with Bromley. You've had a 2-0 loss to Colchester at home. You had the 0-0 with Accrington, ironic. And then Shrewsbury lost 3-1 to Salford as well in the last four.
Yeah, they've scored one goal at home all season.
That's it.
One goal.
Yeah.
One goal.
So you look at those last four home games, Cole, it's hard to see where it's coming from, but Murphy's Law is going to be, if it's going to come against anyone at the moment, it's going to be us. So I think we're going to have to score two.
We know how we can turn a team's fortunes back round.
We do, and I think we need to score at least two if we're going to win this weekend.
Yeah.
And also, again, Ashley just said, sorry, we've got some comments just flashing up in here. Ashley has come on and he has said, only problem if we signed Dele, he'd be serving a match ban as he was sent off for us.
Yeah, but
it's true. It's true.
No great shakes, is it? I'm going to be donut now.
I'm torn with it. You know, again, the connections, what he's done for the club over the years, but
donut.
I don't know. You know, I don't know. I can't see it personally. I can't see it. I think it's romantic glasses, isn't it? Is what they say. But I can't see it. And then, Grant's son said, in your opinion, do you think Collins should really stay our club for the future or of his career? So do you think he should stay with the club for the future of his career?
He's only come here for the money.
Well, do you know what? I mean, having met the guy, spoken to him, he's a really lovely guy, and was really very keen about the squad as a whole, which I thought was really nice when we were talking to him. I think he's a good lad. He's got a good ability. It'd just be nice to see him injury-free and see him, on the pitch. I think once he's fit,
a brilliant in pre-season.
Yeah, I think once he's fit, that will make a lot more options for us in terms of Patterson's been great, but I think he's
Patterson needs someone, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he's a bit jaded as well. Don't forget, he's been playing every game, so you're going to get tired. I think he needs options up front with him to, with the ability to make the difference. I think them two together could be frightening once he's match fit, but that's the catch-22 at the moment, right? How long until he is fit? 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 4 weeks? Who knows? Who knows? At the moment, it's all a case of up in the air, Cole. But I don't think injuries are helping Warren at all at the moment. That's for sure.
Here's a totally random question for you.
Go for it.
Players on a free.
Yep.
Would you sign Stephen Fletcher?
I wouldn't say no at this point, Cole. But then, to be honest with you, I would
think
probably.
he's the type of player that we need.
Yeah, I do, but I would cancel Hogan's contract personally and pay him up and get gone.
Oh.
For me, and I said this the last few weeks, and you know this off air and on air. When we got rid of Matt Dennis and we were going, oh, he's lazy. I just said, yeah, but when he's come on for us, he used to score goals. I thought, why are you getting rid of a player whose wages aren't that bad as worth a punt with a player that's paid quite a lot and hasn't proven jack diddly? To be quite honest, I thought that was odd. And look what he's doing at County. So fair play to the guy.
Yeah, second in the scoring charts.
Yeah, and again, I think when Warren came in and Lindsay had farmed players out, and we said, "Oh, I wish them the best of luck," or whatever. I think they should have been taken a look at again. I think that was a mistake, personally. But yeah, I would cancel contracts, Colin. If you got the money to get rid of people right now, he's shown nothing. He doesn't want to be here. He doesn't ever seem up for it. He doesn't seem to make the effort. Get him gone and take. Fletcher's meant whether he wants to come is a different story, but. Yeah, I think this type of player that we would benefit from. 100%.
He's sitting doing nothing at the moment, isn't he? He's just sitting home watching Holmes under the hammer.
Yeah, well, we've got one registered spot free at the moment, so who knows?
Yeah, we have.
But I think we need to get some defenders in as well, which is the other concern, personally. But yeah, who knows? Who knows?
It all looked so good at the start, didn't it?
This is Don's, Cole. We knew that this was never going to be easy, right? It's just how we come out of the adversity and how we turn it around. I think that's the key thing.
I've got to say, this donut is bloody magic.
I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, mate. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. Craig said, I disagree with the money shout. Patterson, Collins, Jones, Mendes, Lang, they're here because of Warren, not no Warren, they don't sign. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, again, that's Tim's point of view with the money. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, Craig. But yeah, I mean, again, there's probably 50-50. I think they've come because of Warren, but I don't think they'd come on a song. I think there's
but don't forget we said at the start of the season when we signed Mendes Lang, he was the ground bait in the water.
Of course he was. Of course he was.
That attracted others.
Yeah, no doubt at all. No doubt at all. But for me,
did you know we've signed Mendes Lang? Have you really? Oh,
yeah,
I'll sign them. But there is an element of that. I mean,
there
Warren's no fool.
Warren's no fool. But
that was a cracking signing to attract other players.
Yeah, but I think it goes hand in hand, right? We wouldn't have got Warren if we didn't have the new owner with the back end that he's got. I don't think we'd have got the players that Warren wanted if the money wasn't there. I think Warren's pull has helped, but I think the money in turn helps get the players.
Oh, of course it is.
It's more than just one.
And it's not. I'm not disagreeing with you, Craig, but I don't think it's just that as well. We're probably earning the biggest wages in League Two this season.
Oh, easily.
And I mean. If I said to you, would you come and play for Bromley and we'll give you $2,000 a week, or would you come at Milton Keynes and we'll pay you £6,000, £7,000, £8,000 a week? Where are you going?
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't give a toss if Mickey Mouse was our manager. I'd think he'd come for that. Well, is Mickey Mouse?
Say it like it is, Cole.
It's true, isn't it?
It is. But I know
at this level, money matters.
It does, but again, I take Craig's point. You've got to have the manager that people want to play for. That is a factor. Of course, it is.
But getting $8,000 a week makes it feel better.
Makes it a lot better, doesn't it? Right? But I mean, who knows? I'd be interesting to see who we ship out and what moves go on come January, because there are players that are filling up spaces that even Warney said without naming names need to go
empty.
There you go. At least you've done your 5 a day with your natural smoothie. Cole.
Yeah, I'm eating naked.
Well, yeah, hopefully not.
Drinking naked.
Hopefully not. But yeah, I mean, where do we go from here, Cole? So, I mean, looking at the weekend, what do you see? How do you see it playing out?
Yeah, while we're talking about it, please put your predictions on the screen so we can just generally laugh at your ambition.
Not at all.
Oh, God. I don't know. I said last week, if we can't beat this lot, we want to pack up. And we got beat. Yeah, I've got to be honest, I feel exactly the same again. I mean, last week, Accrington only scored 1 goal away from home all season. And they scored 2. And they cruised past us. Be under no illusion, Accrington were better team. We're in a similar scenario this Saturday. Shrewsbury have scored 1 goal at home. They haven't won at home this season. They've drawn 2. They've lost 2. It almost looks like a gimme, doesn't it? It does look like a gimme. I know we say what we do about, any team can beat any team on the day. But you look at it, you think, my God, if we can't beat this lot, we ought to pack up. We really ought to,
we've got some scores on Facebook. So Stephen said, thanks again, Stephen, for input. 1-1. Colin Gibbs reckons 2-1 win. South Don, just as an FYI, just said, amazing how Paul Lecco has gone with his attitude all around.
It's terrible.
Anything. I mean, again, it's always been the same. It's the same with him and I. So when they wanted to leave us since we dropped to League 2, it's not changed. The only reason he's still here, South Don, ultimately is down to the fact that he did his injury at Burton. Otherwise, he'd have been gone. And we gave him a new contract. And I think that's the irony. We gave him a new contract before we signed the other players because we thought he was going to be an important cog. Those players came in and raised it again. And I think that's made him a bit of a bit part player. And he's just not stepping up to try and make an impact.
But he talks a good game. I mean, I watched his interview. He said he very much wants to be in the starting 11 and scoring goals. Well,
show it.
I'm sorry. He didn't bloody look like he was.
No, show it.
So, anyway.
But no, to your point, yes, again, on paper, this is one that, I wouldn't say is easy, Cole, because no game's easy, but team for team, man for man, we should have enough ability and experience to see this game out. Do I see it with the current run of form and fragility that we've got and the issues in defence? It's going to be tough. Depends what defence we set up, how we set up the tactics, the formation. I would have, again, as it's been alluded to, I'd have had 3 at the back. I think that's going to be our best option. I'd go 3-5-2 personally for this one.
I agree.
But
but then you're talking about Crowley and Lecco again, aren't you?
No, well,
or are you? I don't know.
Depends who you put up front because you've got Patterson at the moment. I mean, there's not really. I'm not having Hogan. I wouldn't even have him on the bench, but obviously Warren will do. I would probably have.
I wouldn't have him in the same county.
I wouldn't have him in the club.
So you're going to play up front then?
I would put Crowley up front, just behind Patterson. I think that's where the magic is. Because you've got semi-attacking midfielder, if you like. I think he could cause some damage that way, and it gives him a bit of freedom to see where he can go with it now. He's a bit fitter than he was. I worry about our back line. It's been all over the place because of injuries and suspensions, and there's no stability there. So, like, players knowing what other players are doing is going to be a gamble, really, because you're probably looking at the likes of Thompson and or Maguire there with Offord.
So you really can't see us not conceding.
I think we'll concede. We'll concede. As good as I rate McGivery, and he's been pretty decent this season, to be fair. With last week was not.
He's been badly exposed. He did bugger one up last week. Didn't he?
He did last week, but I'm not going to critique him. He's been pretty decent this season. I just think we need a bit of flair, and we need to start putting crosses in the box, causing pressure, because we could do. And Mendes Lang, for me, needs to be stepping to the levels of Nemain and Hepburn Murphy ultimately. Whether they do, again, controversial statement, would you drop Mendes Lang to the bench? Personally, I probably would. And I'd have Hepburn Murphy and Nemain on the wing and bring Mendes Lang on maybe second half. Maybe he needs a bit of a rest. Who knows? It'd be nice to have him as an option off the bench if we need to make an impact and he's got, second half to come on and cause it. But then Nemain does that anyway. So I don't know. I think Nemain and Hepburn Murphy, for me, deserve starting on the wings in whatever guys you think. If we get the right formation and the right players on the pitch, and that's a big question at the moment because none of us know what's in Warren's head, I think we could win it, but it won't be easy, Cole, because, again, both teams are going to be desperate not to lose, which I think will be a big factor in this game.
Well, like I said, Shrewsbury are fighting for their lives, aren't they?
They are.
The manager's probably fighting for his job right now.
Yeah, they're very physical team in midfield. Appleton's
Yeah.
team usually are. I think they'll know to expose our back line because it's going to be our biggest vulnerability at the moment.
Well, any coach worth his salt will have looked at our last few games
Yep.
to see where our weaknesses are.
Yeah,
And
no, I
there are
don't.
a few.
So, I mean, with that said, my head and my heart have got two different things. So, in my head, I think it could be a 1-1 and a hard game to watch. But at the same time, my heart tells me 2-1.
Don't depress me, for God's
So,
sake.
on balance, I'm going to go and put my neck on the block here. I'm going to go 2-1 Dons.
I'm going 3-0 Dons. Right, okay.
Just like that. Just like that.
Oh, I don't know. Like I said, my head keeps telling me we ought to be bloody winning this. But I really don't know. I don't know. I'm just sort of I'm thinking what announcement's going to be made for the team.
Yeah.
Who's going to be out this week, and then B, I look at the fragility of the defence and how naive they can be. And again, we've got another new pairing, or going to have another new pairing at the back, because I don't think Epieta and Maguire have started the game
that's
yet.
why I'd have a back three. I'd have a back three of Epieta, Maguire, and I mean, the main. I know Craig just mentioned it. If you take him out of the position, but I think it's worth the gamble at this point. To be quite honest, I mean, there are players that can fit in that back three. Who you put? I mean, again, depends what you do in the midfield. I could be here all night rejigging that team.
Well, Thompson could be back. We don't know.
Thompson could be back, but I mean, again, Callum Tripp. I know it's probably people going to laugh at, but Callum Tripp, I think, deserves an opportunity. Well, it can't be any worse, can it? Can't be any worse, and it frees up in the main.
Well, I hope not. It can't be any worse. But...
Can't be any worse. For me, I think, Tripp deserves at least a run in the team, or at least on the bench. Again, when we're that depleted, to not have players who did do a reasonable job for us last season, looked to our at the beginning of the season, not even considered. I think that's a crime for me. Yeah. You talk about bringing academy lads through, give them an opportunity. If there was an opportunity to do it, now is the time. And against Shrewsbury, who are so poor, probably a good game to bring them into if you're going to bring them into a game.
Well, this is probably going to come back and bite me on the arse, isn't it? Because if you remember a few weeks ago, I was saying Shrewsbury the worst team I've seen. And that was after watching about 2
Until
games.
They play us.
That was after about 2 games. You remember 2 games in, I was saying Shrewsbury are awful. And now we're 9 games in.
Yeah.
And I'm proved to be right. But they might be awful, but bloody hell.
Yeah, but I think the difference is so are we.
Look at us.
I'm going to try and be positivity alert here. But I think, yes, as bad as we've been, we've got the ability to turn it on and turn teams over. We just need a bit of luck and a break. And I think if we get a win, I'm not saying everything's hunky-dory again, but at least it will bring some belief back into the team. But I just think if he's trying the same players, it's not working, bringing a few fresh players. And I say Tripp for me, whatever people want to think about that.
I mean, we did say, what was his name? KTS.
Yeah. KTS.
Might be an idea to try and bring him back in.
Yeah, if he's fit. And Lemonhay Evans again, but I'd have him more as a holding midfielder, defensive midfielder personally. But anyway, South Dons comes to. I remember one coming to us. A Derby fan said, "You won't like his style of football. Witness some terrible just hoof the ball anywhere football." Not long balls with thought behind the pass. Hope Warren turns it round to the football that has got him success in the past. Do you know what? I understand that. I just think I don't care how it goes in the back of the net. I don't care if it's awful football. Just give me 3 points at this point. That's what we need. We just need a bit of belief back in the team. And the longer this streak doesn't turn itself around, the harder it's going to get, Cole. And this weekend is the best opportunity we're going to have in a few weeks because we've got Gillingham at home the week after, and that is not going to be easy, as much as I hate to say it. 21 games unbeaten, that's pretty impressive, let's face it. And again, Ainsworth, the football was dire, but he knows how to get the results. That's what we need to start doing. There we go. Grant just said, he said a win on, sorry, I'll bring it up on the screen. Grant said, there we go. A win on Saturday will be a big boost for morale for both players and fans. I think so, Grant, I think so. But
we need a win.
We need to, but I think he needs to change up a few players that are tired. Mendes Lang for me isn't too big a name that he shouldn't be rested or dropped for a bit. Maybe it will do him the power of good. You never know. You never know. Anyway, Cole, anything else you want to cover?
No, well, I'm out of food. I'm out of drink.
All right. You're out of everything.
That's another one gone out of the bin. All I've got is me vapes now.
There you go. There you go. I think that's covered. Pretty much. Yeah. Don't forget the closes on the motorway, anyone that's travelling. Make sure you're actually giving yourself plenty of time for that. Hopefully, for those who haven't decided yet, please get yourself down to Shrewsbury if you can.
Yeah. The coach travel's sold out, but like I said, there's a multitude of other ways of getting there. Shrewsbury's not that difficult by train.
Parking isn't too bad if you get there early enough.
Parking's brilliant if you get there early enough, And, there are quite a few little pop-up parking places along the road.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, it's very, I was going to say, it's generally very easy to get to, but, it's mainly motorways and dual carriageway all the way there, isn't it?
Most of it, mate. Most of it, yeah. Well, most of it, whether you come from MK or anywhere nearby. But we'll certainly be there. We'll be in the fan zone behind the away end. Hopefully the weather's okay, so we're not freezing to death.
We might even interview people.
We might do. You never know. If people want to come and say hello, we can get some, thoughts on the game pre-game and stream it live.
We could think about that, couldn't we?
Exactly. Might even get Luca on. You never know. Luca's always there. I know you want to bring him on. You want to bring him on for a chat.
I'm desperate to get Luca.
There you go, Luca. If you're listening in, Colin wants to see you on for an interview, mate. So
come and see us, Luca.
Come and see us on Saturday. We'll do a bit of cross-pollination. We'll do a bit for you. You do a bit for us. There we go.
How about that?
There you go. Right, collaboration.
Okay.
Collaboration.
Okay.
But yeah, there we go. There we go. See, so I would say see you there, Cole, but I'm driving you there, so I will see you.
My chauffeur for the day.
Yeah, I will see you early on Saturday for a long journey up. Well, it's not that long, a couple of hours, but it should be. Hopefully, it'll be a good result. Something positive to report on next week on Don's Unplugged with some fans of Gillingham, where we can at least have a bit of banter to say at least we've got something behind us before that game.
Yeah,
I am not looking forward to it.
The old Gillingham fans are a bit of a lively sort, isn't he? So we're looking forward to that.
It's good actually.
Yep. Yeah. So we're back next week, yeah? Wednesday, 7:45?
Yep, 7:45. As always, you know where we are.
So thanks for your comments tonight. Always much appreciated. Well done to Colin Gidds for winning the baseball cap, for getting 295 days since our last back-to-back win. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
It is. Karen, just to say, Karen, we haven't got them yet, but we are doing the order of the T-shirts, as you mentioned. So when we have those, if anyone wants one, let us know. We'll be giving some away as prizes, but we'll also be doing, as Colin says, selling them off as well if needs to be.
Selling them off,
Not too much. Yeah. Not too much at cost. So there we go.
And all the staff on the Casbah will be at some stage wearing the
They will.
So,
they will.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Chris said, see you at Shrewsbury. Come on, you Dons. I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you for that, Chris. And Stephen says, good night, legends. So I don't know who he's talking to.
Well,
thank you, Stephen.
Well, it ain't me. It's good night, legends, and Colin.
Good night. That's Ash.
Okay. Okay. We'll be back next Wednesday night at 7:45 live on Facebook
and the
YouTube and Twitter.
And Twitter. You can stream through that. Oh, no. But yeah, also, if your friends and family want to watch, feel free to give them the link to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It does help us getting the word out.
When you go to the game on Saturday, nudge the bloke next to you. Say, did you watch Don's Unplugged? And he says no. Say, lucky you. Say good night, Aidan.
Good night, Aidan. And come on, you Dons. Here's the 3
points.
points.
We'll see you Saturday, people. Good night.
Take care.